Hi, it's the Rawesome Vegan Gal, and I have some products today that I already talked about in a previous video. And today I'm actually going to be making some recipes with them. It's the protein powders from Foods Alive. We have sesame, hemp, and chia seeds. So today is going to be our protein powder party. So welcome, and we're in the kitchen today. That my grandmother made. She should rest in peace. She was a designer and pattern maker, my Bubby Charna. So today I already have some of the recipes already made. I made some different truffles with the protein powder. Previous time I made them by grinding up the protein, not the protein powders, grinding up the seeds, but it's different with the protein powder. It's easier to work with, so I really like that. So I made some carob truffles, and I made some cacao truffles, and I made some actually savory truffles with hemp protein. So today we're going to be making the ones with carob. So we have our carob powder here from Foods Alive. We're going to be using some carob powder, and then we are going to be using also some chia powder. And the chia powder, it's already protein powder. Since it's already ground up, it thickens up really quick. You don't have to wait like when you have the chia seeds. And then we're also going to be using some coconut flour and coconut sugar, which is from another company, Nutiva. And I'm going to put them in a little dish and show you how we make them. Okay, so first we're going to use our carob powder. So we're going to take about 3 spoons of that. About 3 tablespoons, I think, should be enough. And we're going to take, now the carob powder is a lighter color than most that you might see in stores. And this is actually really raw carob powder, and it smells really good. So we're going to take 3 spoons of that. And usually this makes about 4 nice-sized truffles, and I could show you what they look like. This is the size of the truffles. This is the carob ones. And then I have over here, these are the hemp savory ones, and the hemp ones I actually also put in some of our toasted hemp seeds. And if I can find them here, these are our toasted hemp seeds with sea salt. So they're the ones that have the hull still on them, and they're really crunchy. So I actually put them in the truffles. So besides our carob powder, we are going to take some chia powder, and probably about a teaspoon or so of that. So we'll take some of our chia powder right here. And then to that we're also going to be adding some coconut sugar and coconut flour, because we like it to be a little sweet. So we have our coconut sugar right here. This is from Nutiva. You can see that. And we're going to be adding a little bit of that. Now, when you use the coconut flour, just to be aware, if you're using, I use different spoons for most of my products that I'm putting in to make the recipes. But you should make sure, like especially the coconut flour is white, so you don't want to use a spoon that you use for other things. Also, otherwise you're mixing up different things in packages. Like if you use the same spoon and you're taking chia and then taking carob, and then you might get some carob in the chia if you don't want to mix them up. Better to have different spoons, especially like the coconut flour is white, so you don't want to make it a different color. So we'll do another spoon of that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our water. This is in our Laguna bottle that I've talked about in a separate video. So this has been revitalized and energized for, about, it only needs about 3 minutes, but it's been in here for a while. So we're going to take some of the water, and here's our ingredients in here. So when you pour the water in, do a little bit at a time, because you want it to stay thick to make the truffles, and then the truffles will go in the freezer. So I have them already made. So what we do is we just mix them up, mix up the ingredients. Now the fail-safe is that if it gets too watery, then you can always add some coconut flour. That actually helps thicken it up too. So we're going to add a little more water to this. And then all we do is make them into balls, and I put them in the freezer. That's it. It doesn't need any kind of dehydration or anything like that, and they're really good. And then you can take them out of the freezer a little bit to soften them up before you would actually eat them because they're kind of hard when you try to chew them. So here it is all blended up. You can see that. And then all we do, once it's all creamy, I mean, you could actually eat it like this. It got nice and thick too from the chia seeds. Then all you do is take your hands, if we're going to just rinse them in water for just a second here. Make sure they're clean. And then you're just going to take a little in your hand, like a spoonful. And these, because of the chia, they get they're a little softer, not as thick. So you just can form them into a ball like that. And then you just put them on a tray. And what I do is I actually use parchment paper. The parchment paper, so here's our little truffle. So what I do is I put them on parchment paper when I freeze them. So here you can see it's on a parchment paper. These are actually little cups. I will give you a link to the company that makes them. So I put them on the baking cups on a tray. And then I, see they're on a tray right here. And then I need to show you that a little better. So they're on a tray. Move the video if you can see that. They're on a tray right there. So then I put them in the freezer and I leave them overnight, and then they're in the morning when you wake up, you can have them for a snack or something like that. So there's also a lot of other things you can do with the protein powders. You know, people of course make smoothies with them. The chia seeds also great for baking. The chia powder, all the others too. I've actually used them to make a special oat little breads that I use for the Sabbath because I don't use gluten or wheat. So I make these little oat breads and I put some of the protein powders in them. So that's for the truffles. Now the next thing we're going to make is I wanted to make like a cheesy type spread. It could be a sauce or it could be a dressing. And so I also have their nutritional yeast here, which I talked about, and it really makes it cheesy. So I came up with this little idea for a recipe. So this is my cheesy hemp sauce. Now you could use, I'm sorry, not hemp, cheesy black sesame sauce. So we're going to be using our sesame protein powder and our nutritional yeast, and then we're going to add some other ingredients to it. You can also throw in a few toasted hemp seeds and make it a little crunchy, would be fine. Then we're also going to be adding paprika, dulse, Italian seasoning, and turmeric. Now, if you don't have crackers to put it on, you can also do a crudité and put it on vegetables. So I have some celery cut up here that we're going to put it right into the groove. Celery is great for doing pâtés and stuff like that. So we're going to get our ingredients going here into our little dish. So first we're going to do our sesame, 3 tablespoons of our sesame protein powder. Black sesame, actually. It's not regular sesame, and black sesame has a lot of good nutritional properties according to Chinese medicine for the kidney and liver. So we're going to do about 3 spoons of that. 3 spoons of our hemp protein. Now, it depends how you want it and how much water you'll add to it as far as thickness. That's going to be up to you. So you can make that decision based on, you know, the flavor that you're looking for and the consistency that you're looking for. So now with the nutritional yeast, if you want it to be more cheesy and it doesn't have enough, you can always add more. So I'm just going to do 2 spoons of that to start. And then we're also adding some of our other seasonings to make it taste savory. So the seasonings that we have, we're going to add some dulse. I've got some dulse powder here. This is from Jensen, Bernard Jensen. I'll include some information about that as well. So we're going to just sprinkle some of that right into our little dish here. We have our ingredients coming along in this container. And then we're also going to add some Italian seasoning. We have some dried Italian seasoning here that we're going to add. As long as I can find my spoon, which I'm searching for right now. So pardon the interruption. So we have a little bit of our Italian seasoning just for a nice flavor. And then the next thing we're going to add is some paprika. And I have my seasonings that I've bought and spices that I bought at the store in bulk, and I have them in my bags that are from BioBag. These are really nice Ziploc bags that they have. So, and I will give a link for that as well if you're interested. So I don't like to store anything in the plastics that they have at the store because they are chemically based and these are not. And they're compostable, biodegradable. So that's some paprika. And then next we're going to also add just a little dab of turmeric. Now turmeric can be a little strong, so if you want to leave it out, that's fine. And then if you think it's not salty enough, you can always add a little more Dahl's powder. That would be fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our water again from our Laguna bottle. And we are going to put some in our dish. Here's our dish here. I can show you that. And we're just going to pour some in. And then mix it. And again, start with a little bit of water so that it stays thick if you want it thick. And if you want it to be a little more thinner, it depends. If you're doing it on vegetables or crudité, then you don't want it to be so watery. So here, as you can see, it's pretty thick. And it has a nice color from the black sesame. And what I found was really nice is when I use the black sesame protein powder, I really like it. It has a little crunch to it. The seeds, the way they're ground up, it actually is really nice. It's not super fine. I actually like that consistency. So I'm going to put some of our, and this looks really nice on the celery because you have the black sesame contrast. So we're going to put some on our, into the groove of the celery. So we have some pieces here on our plate. And we're just going to put them into the grooves, just like that. So there's our celery, and there's our black sesame cheesy pate. So it's nice and thick, and it only needed a little bit of water to make it happen. So we have one more piece to go. And you can also do other vegetables. You could do cucumber, you could do pepper, you could do stuffed pepper even if you want, zucchini. I mean, there's tons of different kinds of vegetables depending on what you like. Even like on tomato slices you can put it on. It would be nice. It would make it look nice. So, so here is our, as I get my thumb out of the way, pardon again. There's our celery and there's our truffles. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. Sorry, my hand again is in the way. As I try to use the camera on my iPad properly. I have to learn. So hopefully that gives you some really good ideas for using some of these other products from Foods Alive, the protein powder party products, as I call it. So thanks for watching. This is the Rawsome Vegan Gal.